What's up, YouTube? It's Sidnie Iyland here. That's Iyland with the Y, not an S. And God, I hope y'all can hear me over the birds. Like, I love filming out in nature, but the one thing I don't like about it is how loud those damn birds are, okay? I don't hate birds. I love birds. I just don't love them when I'm trying to film a video. Anyways, this video is not about birds. This video is about water signs. Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. And this video is more so for people who are more deeper into astrology and they know of the existence of a birth chart and, you know, the different planetary placements like your moon sign and your Mercury and your Venus and stuff like that. In order to figure that out, go to a birth chart calculator online. You can just type in birth chart calculator and use any one of those. You just have to know the time you were born, the city you were born, and all that jazz. But let's just get straight into it. So I'm going to talk about the water signs. I'm going to talk about the good traits, the bad traits, how they are in relationships. The timestamps are going to be in the description box down below for each sign. So let's start off with Cancer, okay? So Cancer is the crab. That's Cancer's symbol. And Cancer represents the womb, the mother, and all things feminine. All things that are associated with the more feminine, nurturing aspect. Cancers, you will find a lot of times have issues with their mother. They'll have abandonment issues with, you know, their mother being abusive towards them or feeling like they didn't get enough motherly love. And I know this is not going to be the case for all Cancers. It can also be on the flip side where Cancers have had a very loving and nurturing relationship with their mother. Cancers are very emotional. People always say, you know, that's just a reputation, right? Like, that's a stereotype, you know, that Cancers are emotional. But naturally, a lot of Cancers are very sensitive and they get their feelings hurt really easily. And this is not just something that I'm saying because I read it in a book. Like, this is something that I see with so many Cancer people in my life. Like, I have a best friend who's a Cancer, and I'll say one thing and she'll start to cry, you know, if I say something that she doesn't like. You know, a lot of Cancer people just can't handle a lot of, like, harshness and a lot of criticism. You know, you will come across the Cancers that's real cutthroat with their words. You know, Cancers can be, they can come off like very sensitive and very innocent, but they can be real cutthroat. Like, let's not get it twisted. Cancers have a mouth. But Cancers, they act based upon their emotions a lot. So honestly, I would say most of the time, you know, they kind of think more with their hearts than their heads. You know, they're very sensitive people. They kind of always go with a vibe more than like logic and rationality, you know. These people need for their environment to feel a certain way or else they won't be comfortable. These people also, in relationships, need to be nurtured and to feel loved. Like, if a Cancer doesn't feel love in life, like, they don't feel happy at all. Like, their life just feels empty if they don't feel love. If they don't feel loved, or if they don't feel like they are receiving enough affection. You know, so Cancer people, they need to be loved and to give love in order to feel fulfilled in life. You know, Cancers are all about love and this motherly love, this nurturingness. So even if a Cancer was brought up, you know, without having a good mother figure, they will oftentimes be a mother figure to somebody else. Cancer men oftentimes can be very protective. You know, they like to play that role of the protector, the provider, you know, the man that makes you feel safe and comfortable. They're self-proclaimed good men. I don't know this for certain. You know, I have met a few Cancer men that were really good men. They were really very kind, you know, and very caring, you know. I personally love Cancers because I'm a Taurus and we have a lot in common. You know, Cancers are homebodies like Taurus. Cancers love to cook and eat like Taurus. Cancers, they need a certain comfort and security like Taurus. Also, in relationships, Cancers can be kind of manipulative. Because Cancers have a hard time sometimes being direct, they can kind of approach things with a more manipulative, passive-aggressive kind of way. Sometimes can be very avoidant, you know. Which is kind of ironic because sometimes Cancers, they don't stop talking about their feelings. It's kind of like, I don't understand how Cancers can sometimes be so open with their feelings, but when it comes to like a debate or a confrontation, they run away. I mean, not all Cancers, but the Cancers that I've known, are afraid to get into arguments. They're afraid of, people being mad at them and stuff like that. They kind of have a tendency to curl up in their crab shell and become the victim when you confront them and stuff like that. Also, Cancers, when they get to talking about their feelings, they won't shut up. They can talk. They just love to talk. They won't stop. They won't stop, I'm telling you. Cancers also sometimes can be loners. They can, sometimes they have that crab shell, like I said, that where they want to crawl up in that crab shell and just kind of keep to themselves, especially when they feel like uncomfortable, or when they feel that they don't belong somewhere. Cancers do have a strong need to kind of be in that little comfortable hole at home. They're homebodies. If you're married to a Cancer, a lot of times that spouse will be the spouse that is always staying at home cooking and cleaning and not really wanting to get out and about. Sometimes Cancers can get stuck in that. And speaking of getting stuck, Cancers are also prone to getting stuck in the past. Cancers are extremely nostalgic. They dwell on the past a lot. They have a hard time letting go of the stuff that they did in the past, or stuff that people did to them in the past. They're very sentimental, and they're very clingy signs. So they cling to past memories, past mistakes. They cling to people. A lot of Cancers can have like a hard exterior, like that hard shell, but on the inside can be really soft and super sensitive. And whether Cancers will tell you or not, they get their feelings hurt very, very easily. Some famous Cancer celebrities are Selena Gomez, Bill Cosby, Ariana Grande, Tom Cruise, Jaden Smith, and the list goes on. I'm not going to name every Cancer celebrity. Talking about Bill Cosby being a Cancer, I hope that y'all can hear me over the dog barking. But talking about Bill Cosby being a Cancer, Cancers can be very secretive, right? They have a tendency to portray themselves as being the best of the best, but behind closed doors, they have some dark secrets. Cancers have a very dark side to them because the moon rules Cancer. And the moon has many different phases, right? You have the complete white moon, the moon that's half dark, half white, and then you have the completely black moon, right? And Cancers, since they're so moody, they kind of are like the moon, where the moon has all these different phases that they go through. The moon also controls the tides, and the tides are moving up and down and up and down, and that's how Cancer's moods are. Cancers are extremely moody. I could go really, really deep into Cancers, but I'm going to make a separate video talking completely about Cancers. I don't want to make this video too long because I do have 2 other signs to talk about. So I'm just going to end it there. I feel like I've said so much. There's going to be so much more that I'm going to talk about in my other... I'm going to make a video that's probably, just called The Truth About Cancers or something like that. But I'm just going to end it there and move on to Pisces sign. Oh yes, I was talking about Cancers having a dark side. So let me go back to Cancers have a dark side to them. They like to portray themselves as the best of the best. Bill Cosby portrayed himself to be this really loving father, and he got me feeling like I wanted him to be my daddy. Okay, that sounded weird. I wanted him to be my father. Growing up, I didn't have a father, in my household, so watching Bill Cosby, I was like, watching him be Dr. Huxtable and being so loving to his family and being so providing, I was like, I want him to be my father, And he portrayed himself to be that way, and it was kind of devastating with the whole situation with the scandals and all that stuff. But he kind of obviously had a darker side to him. And Cancers have some freaky, weird, dark stuff going on, inside of them that you won't really know, because that stuff is going on the other side of the moon. That stuff is going on the side of the moon that's in that dark phase. So Cancers, sometimes with Cancers, they're very deep, complex people, and there's more that meets the eye. Okay, so anyways, moving on to Pisces, the other water sign. Pisces are, just like Cancers, super duper emotional and very sensitive, okay? They get their feelings hurt very easily. Everybody knows Pisces and Cancers cry very easily, okay? But of course, if you have a lot of fire or air in your chart, which you're like a Cancer sun or Pisces sun, you're not going to be as emotional, okay? So people kind of say, it's stupid that you can say that somebody is one way according to their sun sign. And I agree, it is stupid because there's so much more in your birth chart. You can't just say that because I'm a Taurus, I'm gonna only be a certain way. You know, like I also have Aries in my chart, so I can be fiery. You know, I also have Gemini in my chart, so I can be very, you know, intellectual, like the air, like an air sign. So it just depends. So I don't want to ever be the astrologer that just basically says this is how Pisces are, this is how Cancer are, because that's not the case at all. You will be watching this video and be like, I'm a Pisces, but I don't relate to any of that. And that's okay. You probably have a lot more of some other sign in your chart. So check out your birth chart for that. I'm still studying astrology. I've been studying astrology for the past 4 years. So I'm still studying it. I still feel like an amateur sometimes because there's still so much that I don't know. So I don't want you to take everything that I say, you know, as if it's the facts. I'm just letting y'all know based upon my experiences and based upon the stuff that I have been researching in books and on the internet, and you know, through what I've seen through the people who have in these signs. Pisces, they are very, very, very imaginative. They're so imaginative to the point where they can be delusional, and they imagine all types of stuff, and they can sometimes think that stuff is going on that's not really going on because they're delusional. Neptune, the planet Neptune rules Pisces, and the planet Neptune is all about deception and delusions, right? So when it comes to a Pisces person, they're prone to delusions. They're prone to believing things that aren't there. They could also see ghosts and stuff like that. Like if y'all believe in the paranormal, which I do believe in supernatural paranormal. If y'all don't, that's completely fine. Pisces people are very spiritual, and they believe in a lot of you know, spiritual stuff. They a lot of times just come out believing in metaphysical stuff and being really into like the occult and mystical stuff like that, because these people are psychics, they're mystics. They have mystical powers. A lot of them know about it, and they start doing magic when they start to learn about their powers. Pisces are very spiritually magnetic. Yes, Pisces are very spiritually magnetic. You know, Pisces just in general have this charisma. And Janae Aiko is a Pisces. Rihanna is also a Pisces, and Rihanna does have that kind of charisma about her. You know, like her eyes is just very all these freaking ants. Ariana is very what's the word? She's her eyes, like I said, can kind of draw you in. She just kind of has a kind of alluring kind of Piscean kind of vibe. Let's see, what else about Pisces? Einstein is also a Pisces. He's a freaking genius. Pisces are very artistic. They're very good at art. They're very creative. And a lot of times when they get into the arts, they excel in the arts because they're masters of the arts. They're masters of all things dramatic and all things expressive. So Pisces can be very expressive with their personalities and very vocal and flamboyant and stuff like that. On the dark side, Pisces are prone to drug addiction and alcohol addiction and sex addiction and all things that help them to escape, because Pisces has issues, you know, kind of being in the real world. Let's just say they're so sensitive, and sometimes they have a hard time coping with reality because they're just so sensitive in relationships, and they need a lot of praise and a lot of compliments and encouragement and stuff like that, because Pisces, they're prone to just being severely insecure and kind of just needing that encouragement. They also sometimes can have trouble being alone. Like Cancers, I forgot to mention, Cancers and Pisces have a lot in common. Y'all, just these two ants look like they was about to like do the booty together. Like these two ants was like they was about to do the booty. Anyways, Pisces can be very loving and very giving, you know, and they have a very big heart. But on the flip side, they can be very cruel, and they can say things that's just outright mean, you know, and sometimes Pisces don't have a filter. Like they can just say whatever's on their mind. They can really like hurt your feelings with some of the stuff that they say. And you would think that they'd be more considerate sometimes, saying as they can get their feelings hurt so much. But Pisces can dish it, but they can't take it. A lot like Aries. You know, if you say something, you talk shit to a Pisces, they'll cry. But if they talk shit to you, they feel that it's justified. Pisces can have multiple personalities. They suffer from dual personalities. I wouldn't say suffer from, but they can have dual personalities where they have two personalities or multiple personalities, and they can just kind of change the way they talk and act according to who they're around sometimes. Again, y'all, I will go into deeper depth about the Pisces zodiac sign in a video just specifically about Pisces, because like I said, I have to talk about 3 signs in this whole video, and I don't want to like talk about one sign too much. So let's talk about Scorpio. Scorpio represents the scorpion. And the scorpion has a tail that is hella poisonous, honey. And that tail not only can sting you and poison you, but they can sting themselves. So Scorpios can sometimes be the cause of their own pain. And I personally feel that it's because Scorpios hold on to grudges so fucking tight that I feel that it causes them to get diseases and stuff like that. And it can cause them to just be outright miserable. I mean, come on. If you're always holding on to a damn grudge, you're going to be sad, okay? Because you're going to be feeling some type of way. You're going to be feeling angry. You're going to be feeling something if you're always holding on to a grudge. You're going to be feeling bitter and just unhappy. So, Scorpios can hold on to grudges really, really tightly. And Scorpios represent death and all things that are kind of unknown, the sides that you can't see, you know. They represent rebirth, transformation. Scorpios, they also rule the genitals. As far as the body parts go, they rule the genitals. Cancers, I forgot to mention, rules the breasts and the chest. Pisces, oh my god, I forgot what Pisces rule. Oh my goodness, I forgot. Y'all, I'm not a professional astrologist, so I forgot. I believe, the feet, duh! Pisces rule the feet. How could I freaking forget that? Like, I feel so stupid right now. But anyways, Scorpio rule the genitals. So Scorpios are extremely sexual. They too can also suffer from sex addiction, but it is very different than Pisces. Let's start off by saying that. Scorpios can be some hoes. Okay, they can sleep around a lot and have a lot of sex, but they can also be so attached to sex that they feel the need to abstain from sex. So these people can go through long periods of celibacy if they feel that they are not going to have a deep emotional and spiritual connection with the person that they're having sex with. Sex is very serious to a Scorpio. When I say seriously, I mean in love and also just having it. They take it seriously to get sex. They need sex constantly. Scorpios can be very dark natured. They can be very comfortable with dark, mystical stuff. They can also get into the occult and dark magic and stuff like that. And they're not afraid. A lot of times they're not afraid to do it. And they're not afraid of their dark side. They're not afraid of death. They're not afraid to die. They're not afraid for other. I wouldn't say that all Scorpios are not afraid to die, but a lot of Scorpios are not afraid to die. And a lot of Scorpios are not afraid for other people to die. But I would say this is deep. This is more of a deeper thing if you have a Mars in Scorpio rather than a sun in Scorpio, so it's going to be different depending. So if you have a Scorpio Mars, which my sister has a Scorpio Mars, and she has this weird kind of outlook on death where for her it's not really anything to be afraid of, and I too am not afraid to die, but I probably shouldn't say that, but I'm not afraid to die, but I do, being a Taurus, which is the opposite of Scorpio, I have a huge fear of my loved ones dying, but that's normal. I mean, most people have that fear. Scorpios are the opposite of Taurus. Taurus is all about the material world, and money and stuff like that, whereas Scorpio is all about the world that you can't see, which is the spiritual world. So Scorpio people are prone to being extremely psychic and very spiritual. As far as personality goes, Scorpio people, they can be very mysterious, and they're the silent, bold type. I've met a lot of Scorpios who are the silent, bold type. They're very deep and very complex. They think a lot, and they can be a lot more intelligent than you would ever know. But a lot of times you kind of suspect that Scorpios know some things. At least for me, personally, I suspect that Scorpios know some things just by the way that they carry themselves and just by the way that they talk. Like, I suspect that y'all know some things. So Scorpios are very intelligent, very imaginative, very deep, and they're very old souls. Scorpios, they've been on this planet forever, okay? They just know a lot more than you would expect them to know at their age. They're very wise. And they're very smart, so they know how to navigate through life and get to the top in their careers and stuff like that. They're very, very career driven. They take their careers very seriously. They know how to be the boss. They know how to make money and stuff like that. They just draw in that stuff very easily. They just know how to be at the top of their careers. It's kind of magical from what I've seen. In relationships, Scorpios can be the rock, the one that you lean on in hard times, the one that's going to be super loyal to you and have your back the whole way through. Scorpios sometimes also have a problem letting go, but they can also have a lot of hoes. Like Scorpios, I'm telling you, Scorpios got a lot of hoes. They got a lot of side chicks, a lot of side dudes. Yeah, they can sleep around, you know. They love sex and they love to have a lot of it. And in relationships, if you're dating a Scorpio, they'll want to have a lot of sex. They're very kinky, very freaky. Like, they're not afraid to do all types of weird stuff, you know. They're into, like, they can be into some weird stuff. Like, these are the type of people that'll have, like, foot fetishes and stuff like that, you know. So don't put it past a Scorpio to be into, like, weird, you know, freaky stuff during sex and stuff like that.